per se, but he does sort of hang out with the bear, sort of trying to figure out if he might be able to at least get it out of the area in a manner that would not preclude being attacked by a bear.
Doesn't that bear belong to someone?
No, it was a boar that was stolen.
Yeah, it was a boar that was stolen, not a bear.
Easy mistake to make, I'm sure.
Unless someone.
They have 4 legs. I'm sorry, I'm used to more aquatic creatures.
Well, I could say, unless someone was not the best at filling in the form that they gave to the constable, and it actually was a bear and not a boar. Easy mistake.
I don't know, do you want to have a look at the cage?
Might as well.
Investigation.
Right. Well, that's not something he's good at all. Surprising.
I mean, the cage seems a little small for a bear. Like, if you were picking out a cage to put a bear in, you'd probably normally go for something bigger. It seems like the cage would maybe be the right size for a boar, but apart from that, you can't really make out anything in particular about it.
No bones?
You don't see any bones in this cage, but if you look around the fire, you can see some bones, sort of child-looking bones, in the ashes that were scattered around by the thunderwave, and some of those could be pig bones. It's hard to tell.
I think we might know where the boar's gone, but yeah, I might want to take a look around the cave first. Either way, he's gonna see if he can't, like, try to get that baton off the cage.
It looks like you could easily enough just pull it out of there and the door would just come open and the bear would be out.
Well, you all folks ready to deal with a bear if it goes angry?
Not particularly. Can we, check the cave first before, we're freeing the wildlife?
As you do, then.
Right.
Morgan is going to take a good look at the bear, just
Right.
because later on that might come in handy. Actually, while I'm there, can I check it to see if it's unusually distressed or?
Sure. Animal handling, maybe, for getting a sense.
What's up,
Oh,
bear man? Sup,
Oh,
bear
would that
girls?
would that be an animal handling or an insight check? Can you insight check a bear?
Would it be a
I mean,
Would it
like,
be a nature check?
I feel like you could.
Nature. That's the one. Roll nature. That's a good one.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
my worst one.
I feel like animal handling would make a lot of sense.
Really
though.
bad
I
at
thought you were a
nature.
gift from nature.
Of all the
She's a gift
things-
from the sea.
Alright, fair enough.
All right, you're not really sure with mammals, but could go roll it anyway, I guess.
Let's see what happens.
Please, dice gods, do not forsake me now.
You can
Oh,
do...
Jesus.
Okay, let's see it. Oh.
Oh.
It,
Oh,
it, looks,
dang.
it looks hungry, you guess. It's looking at that. It's looking at the dead bandit over there. Sort of sniffing the air and looking very kind of intently at the bloody remains of the bandit.
I turn to Ren and I say, "Do I feed it people?"
Do I look like I know anything about bears? Yes. I don't know. Let me go check out the cave. Then we can let out the bear. The bear can eat what it wants to eat because it's a bear. And then, we'll carry on.
I suppose you do have a point.
I usually do. And Red sort of makes her way over to the cave to start looking at the stuff that's in there.
Okay. You can see there's various goblets and silver plates in there. You reckon at a rough estimate, you'd say there's about 100 gold pieces worth of just general plunder, like necklaces, like brooches, gems, bits of expensive silverware, that kind of thing. There's also a bunch of coins that have been divvied up between various coin purses, and in them you find there's about 99 copper pieces, 74 silver pieces, and 13 gold pieces.
Nice.
Yeah, there's also a bunch of weapons in here. There's like just nothing magical or special looking in particular, but just a variety of things. There are longbows and crossbows and like long swords, scimitars, maces, that kind of thing. Just typical weapons that they've taken off people they've robbed. So like there's a few number of spears, short bows, that kind of thing that you'd expect people to be carrying with them while traveling.
Oh, that's a thought.
You also find that there is remains of like the skin of a boar in here. There's like the kind of pelt of one. It looks like it's been removed, kind of hacked off, not by somebody who's an expert in skinning animals.
Well, I think we know where that ball went now.
Oh, most definitely. I think they ate it.
Yeah.
Must have been a good meal. Gunner's gonna take a second to just see if he can grab a good few spears out of the pile, because he's got a good use for them. He's demonstrated it already.
All right. Yeah, just add those. You find a few spears. They're a pretty commonplace weapon in the region, so take a few.
3 spears.
Ren is gonna divvy out the silver from the 100 gold pieces worth of stuff. She's gonna take anything made of silver and put it into her satchel and start divvying up the coins into 3 piles. Into 7 piles. Sorry.
All right.
I will do the math. I will do the maths later.
It's like
I think you might have to do 6 piles for now. I mean, you putting aside money for like a guy who isn't here, which Alex can get the XP, but I'm not giving him gold.
It's a couple pieces for everybody. Very luxurious, I know.
He's with us in spirit.
It's not a lot anyway. So that was 99 copper pieces, 74 silver, and 13 gold.
Yep.
And among the plunder, you find a bunch of silver plates and candlesticks that are probably worth sort of... I'm quite happy to say that's your share of the 100 gold pieces worth of loot. I'm not sure exactly how much weight worth of silver that would be, but if you melted it down, it would be enough to silver quite a few weapons, or to make, say, I don't know, how much does silver weigh? Silver's pretty heavy, isn't it?
I think silver is
not as heavy
lighter
as
than,
gold.
Yeah, lighter than gold.
It's not as heavy as gold. I don't know. There's a couple of pounds of silver here.
Cool.
Wonderful.
All right.
So, alright, that's sensible. So out of 100, divide that by 6, you get 1, 40, 36, 9, so you get about 19 pieces a person, I think.
Right.
Given roughly 100 gold from the pile, plus the amounts that were given, we each get about 20 gold.
Okay.
Something like that. Hello.
Any extra loot on the persons?
Yeah, because that's what he's doing.
No, you don't find much in particular, and most of the bandits at this point have bled out and died, except for 4. Bandit number 4, he's got a bit of a... He's bleeding a little bit from that wound on his head, but it seems to have mostly closed up, and he appears to be unconscious.
Gunnar tosses the rock away, and he just picks up the bandit. Figures he might as well take him back with him to town.
Alright.
Making sure, of course, to toss the arms to anyone interested in this sword, because I probably should take it away from this one.
Yeah, he's carrying I think it's a scimitar. Yeah, it's a scimitar. He has a scimitar and a light crossbow, and a small number of bolts on his person.
I can take these if need be, but I don't have much use for them.
I'm not interested in his weapons, but if the others have any arrows, I'll take those.
Oh, these look like crossbow folk. Arrows are a little beyond them.
You do find some arrows up in the cave. There's a selection of bows that they've taken off various people there. Some long bows, some short bows, and a variety of different arrows with various colours of fletching.
Nice.
Whisper's gonna just gather them all up and stick them in a quiver.
By the way, I don't generally track normal ammunition that isn't magical. Just so people know, I don't track non-magical ammunition because, oh my god, I can't be bothered.
Math! Nice!
Speaking
wow,
of
look
math,
at all that.
I had a calculator.
12.
Nice.
Yep, that sounds correct.
Can tell you're a dungeon master.
Wonderful.
I just opened up a new tab and entered that into the Google thing, and it told me.
Nice.
Okay, so the bear is looking hungrily at the dead bandits and sniffing the air, and it's done with the ration. It's eaten that now, and it's pawing at the cage door again.
Right, well, who wants to... you all want to back away for a little bit? Figured we're about off on our way. So he's gonna at least be sane about this.
Mage hand.
Yeah, get a sane
Yeah,
distance
that's
away from the
sensible.
bear cage.
I like how you've moved closer to the dead bandit.
I mean, like, I have to move the other direction so I'm not, like, split up from the party at least, but
Okay.
he's gonna have the mage hand yank that baton out of the cage and free the bear.
Okay. Clunk. The bear immediately bounds out of the cage and towards the remains of the bandit, and it rears up on its hind legs and sort of roar a bit as if concerned that you're going to fight it for its meal.
Gunnar just casts an aura of disinterest. Not magically, just normally.
Also starts walking away.
Yep. Ren will catch hold of Morgana's sleeve and be like, just like start tugging her away.
But I've never seen one this close.
You can see it just as fine from 5 feet away from the bear.
And Gunnar figures he might as well give Hephaestus a pat on the shoulder to say, you're a holy man, right? Well, might as well give them a prayer. They're gone.
Yes, I suppose that would be alright. Before they leave, he does sort of just kneel down and give a prayer for the people who've lost their lives. Then he gives a nod to the bear and then walks off.
Yep. And Gunnar, meanwhile, has just abducted the fourth bandit and is just carrying him piggyback style back.
Okay.
I was just giving that one a pat on the back, too.
Okay, after glaring at you until you get, like, sort of 15 feet away from it, the bear happily tucks into its meal.
Morgana waves.
Alright, are you heading back to town?
Yeah?
Nice and easy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Alright, you head on back over to Red Larch. It's the middle of the night, very dark. But the lights are still on in the inn and at the tavern. You can hear the sounds of sort of merrymaking going on in the Helmet High sun. Sounds like there's a lot of chatter, some shouts, the typical sounds of people drinking and letting off steam after a long day of work. And then over in the Swinging Sword, things are a lot quieter. It seems like everything's wound down. Most people have gone upstairs to their rooms. You can see a few lights on in the upstairs rooms, like candlelight. Otherwise, the town seems pretty quiet. It seems like pretty much everyone who's still awake is at the tavern, as far as you can tell.
Nice. Between
As we would have left, Morgana would have taken her black glasses off and like put it in a nice pouch, and she just wouldn't have realised that coming back into town, she's left lovely bright red bloody marks all down her white stuff, and she's just happily covered in blood with very black eyes, just happily toddling along.
Well, now we know the fate of the bandits for the most part. Gunnar would have been wise and at least applied some rope to the bandits' wrists so he could keep them from, you know, if he might be wakened on the way there, he can't necessarily escape.
All right. So, where do you want to go?
Well,
Do you want to go to the inn and get a night of sleep, or?
Where did the constable say he would be if he wasn't patrolling?
He said that he works
Butchers?
at the Butchers. Yes,
Butcher's shop.
you'll find him. I believe there is Butcher's shop in. Where is it? Ah, yes,
The
Jalessa
11th.
Honor Butcher. He works at the Butchers, which is number 11 on your map. But it is the middle of the night right now.
right,
Where
well,
are we going to put a prisoner?
I suppose they won't mind me knocking on their door if I have someone to bring them, right?
Oh, I can't really complain. We've done what they've asked us to do.
Not like I know where the prison is anyway, so I'll just make a stop off there. You're all fine to do what you want. And
Alright.
he's just gonna stroll himself over to that
Alright.
yeah, and give him a knock on the door
Okay.
and such.
All right, you can see a single-story stone building here. It's sort of fairly small but neat. Looks well kept, and you knock at the door. It's answered by a sturdy-looking young woman, and she looks sort of tired, like she's been asleep, and she stares at this dwarf with a dead man or an unconscious man over his shoulder, and goes, "Oh, are you here to see Harbuck?
That's the one, yep.
All right, just wait there a moment, sir." And you hear tunk, 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 as she sort of runs back into the shop. And you hear sort of muffled voices, and then Harbuck comes out wearing he's actually dressed, like, amazingly. It looks like he was actually awake, but he has dark rings under his eyes as if he was maybe taking a nap, and you get the feeling this guy doesn't sleep as much as he ought to.
Oh.
Evening. Is that one of those bandits?
Yeah, other three weren't so lucky. This one's still alive, though.
Oh, you've done the town a big favour there. You kept the treasure, didn't you? They had something to make it worth your while.
Yeah, more or less. Can't figure out what was what, but we'll put it to good use, we'll say.
Alright, I'd like to give you a reward, but we don't really have much of a pull for it in a town this small. But suffice it to say, if you need a favour doing, I'll willing to vouch for you.
Kept in mind. We'll speak if we need anything.
Alright. Well, good night then. Hopefully see you around. I might have some more work for you. I'll come by if I come up with anything.
Before you do, anywhere I can drop off the buddy here.
Oh, that guy. We've got a place to put him. A little cage. We keep it for offenders usually people who start barroom brawls, to let them sober up. I'll put him in there.
Right, here you go then. Off goes the buddy. He hands over the unconscious man.
Oh, it's like a streak of piss, isn't he? Don't suppose he was any trouble for someone like you.
Well, the others, they were a little more deadly, I'd say.
No, nobody in your party lost a hope.
Oh, no, not at all. Wasn't much of a challenge.
Ah, very good. Oh, any news on... Was there really a bar?
Eaten.
Ah, should have guessed it. Alright, well, if you fancy some bar meat yourself, we've got some nice stuff at the butcher's here.
In the morning. We'll see.
Alright. Night then.
And that's gone.
Alright. Now where did the rest of you go?
I'm going back
The
to the inn
tavern.
and sleeping.
Yeah,
Right.
right. The tavern.
Oh, you've
Yes.
gone to the... So, who's going to the inn and who's going to the tavern?
That's
Oh,
a
no,
good question.
In.
Oh.
Yeah.
You've all gone to the inn to get some sleep.
And in Morgana's case, a bath.
Yeah, Gunner sit in the bar.
Yeah, bar sounds
Yeah,
good.
so is Hef.
I'm covered in blood.
Wait, hang on. So the inn isn't serving drinks anymore. So have you gone to the Helmet High Sun, the tavern?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So you wander into the tavern with a pointy-toothed water genasi who is covered in blood from the mouth downward.
No glasses, pitch black eyes, massive grin. She's just
Living
it's
life.
awful.
Yeah.
Ren
Have fun.
says sort of conspiratorially to the others, this is the best way to clear a path to the bar I have ever experienced, by the way.
Everyone
So
just
people just
clears
move out of the way. It's fantastic.
Gunner
I
just takes a
suppose
look.
nobody's gonna pick a fight with us.
Gunner just takes a look and
Yeah,
says,
you see everyone just moving out the way. So you're in the
Yeah.
Helmet High Sun. It's a dingy tavern, quite low ceilinged, but lots of little nooks and crannies where people can have like private conversations or other private pursuits. It's sort of lit by like greasy tallow candles, and there's a lot of sort of chatter in here. It stinks of ale and like old tobacco smoke and things. And you easily manage to get a path to the bar because nobody wants to stand in your way. And you're met by a human man. He's sandy-haired but balding. He goes, "Evening. I wouldn't like to see the other guy."
Morgana's
He's dead.
grin gets even bigger, and she's just like, "No,
Yeah.
you wouldn't."
Lass,
No
you
one
might
I
want
know,
to...
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've cut a bit of a swath of destruction. Lass, you might want to get a new shirt. You smell like a mortuary.
She
Hef
just kind
lifts
of
his goggles.
plucks at it.
So,
Yeah.
what happened?
Those bandits, right? They've been making mess around town. Won't be no longer.
Midnight
Oh.
snack.
Yes.
Oh, you killed those bandits. Oh, that's brilliant. Do you make them suffer?
Oh yes.
She just
I'm sure
points
they
at her
did stuff.
face.
Oh, you guys have done the town a good favour there. Here, have an ale on the house. He starts pouring out ales for all of you.
Yeah.
How does her paladin
goes-
feel about all this?
I mean, Hef kind of just like lifts his goggles after he takes his drink, and he's like, "I'll need a few more of these." I mean, after a sound like that, I'm gonna need to get really, really drunk.
Morgana slides him her tankard.
Gunner
Thank
also
you.
follows suit because he figures he can just get his own.
Oh yeah, and Hawes is giving him his, because he's gonna ask the barman. Now tell me, what's the best drink you've got?
Well, I do have some fire whiskey in. Coming all the way up from Arm, it has.
Decent,
Cost.
I suppose. How much?
Oh. It'll cost you a silver.
Fair enough.
silver for that. Ah, sign me up.
And for me.
Well, if we're drinking.
This
Right.
is also gonna ask for more.
Gets,
I mean,
He
like
gets
even though he
out
just
a-
downed all of those tankards, he's like he still needs more.
he gets out a fancy-looking barrel with lots of like crests on it and things, seals of approval. Because take their trading very seriously. They have some pretty high trade standards. And he pours out this rich gold-coloured whiskey into the cups for you and hands one to each of you after making sure he's taken the correct money, making sure they're genuine silver pieces. He goes, adventurers. Always good for a bit of money. You know, the townspeople never drink this stuff. Apart from that old guy from the storage place, he'll have a bit occasionally.
Sounds like an interesting fella. Not many that recognize the quality. It's very, it's very foreboding.
And then somebody randomly
Yeah.
starts singing. We need some more like in type music. I feel.
Oh, we're not going for like the Dark Souls. Oh, this is how the apocalypse came about.
There's this weird bard in the corner, got a blue feather in his hat.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, no,
Yeah.
no.
They just think crossover adventures.
We're not bringing back that from the other campaign. Okay, so you're in, you're getting drunk as the evening goes on, and you get to meet some of the people who are hanging out in there. A lot of the townspeople are actually going to bed now. They're kind of, oh, go on, off with you, you've had enough.
Yes.
Okay, you, alright, you there, little one. And he points to a little halfling man. He goes, Stanor, you've had plenty. A pint is more than enough for a man of your stature.
He just puts all his goggles back on and just, I'll have enough when I say I've had enough. That's
I'm
just,
not talking to you, sir. Not talking to you, sir. Just talking to this little man here. If Waveler knows that you're not in tomorrow because you've been drinking, she'll have my head. She will. So off you go.
It's a very cheer
the
situation.
little halfling man just kind of zigzags his way out the door drunkenly. All right, I'm going. Now somebody who is drinking up a storm, there is a half-orc lady at one of the tables who seems to be kind of drinking plenty. Her arm is in a sling as if it's been broken. There's also a oh yeah, good guy. Yes, there's a guy who his cellarer keeps sort of running downstairs, bringing like kicks of ale, taking empty kegs down, and most of the things seems to be kind of winding down now. The most of the people are going home, and this half orc at the table is getting to the point where she's practically falling asleep at the table, and the innkeeper sort of wanders over and goes, Zomith, all right, lass, okay, you need to go across the road now and get some sleep. She's like, oh, no, I'll let you know when I've had enough. I'm fine. I can drink lots. I can, because I'm half orc. So, alright, you're going across the road now. I'll fight you. Like I fought those caravan guards. I beat the shit out of them, I did. Just got a broken arm, but I just broke like 4 of their legs. Yeah, I know, Zomith, I know it's time, but it's time for you to go to bed now. She goes, you lost over there. Are you looking for that caravan?
Ah, caravan, huh? Well, time to hear the words of a drunkard.
You know, it's because all of the adventurers coming through town, they've been looking for this caravan and having a fight with them, and I beat them up, and then they went, and then they vanished. Poof.
Please tell me she makes really over-the-top hand gestures and
Yes.
like falls back in her seat, and she's just like poof.
Yeah.
That's just beautiful,
And
man.
then creak as this big half-orc lady lands on it, and then she sort of winces a bit as she's just jostled her broken arm a little.
Nice. What is there to do about that? Gunnar looks a little disinterested. He's just gonna, at this point, since the night's gone in, he's been playing his dulcimer, so he's just gonna hammer away at that, just idly. Others can do as they like with that one.
Scale of 1 to 10, what's the quality of this fire whiskey? Or